heart is at. Don't want you to know my love is lost. Well, there's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking, wanting you, so I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Yeah, don't call me back, just say goodbye. I can change the past, don't wanna complicate things. Maybe if I asked, was any of it real? Was it real? There's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking, wanting you, so I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say goodbye. There's only one thing. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Yeah, I'll say goodbye. Don't call me back, just say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say goodbye.
Show.
What up?
What's good?
Oh man, everything, man, everything. Oh man, I was just I'll be real, man. I was eating in the corner, man. I was trying to get these little ribs, and that's what I was doing. Hold on one second. Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
How's the audio?
Sounds
Good.
good.
Any delay?
Nah, we good. Good.
Yes. I was out there enjoying the music.
You just chopping on some ribs over there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, but I got to represent with the NY today, man, because we're gonna talk about some New York stuff today. Yeah, man.
Huh?
Yo, man, you look a little smaller, man. Your face is slimming down.
Oh man.
What you doing?
Switching up the eating a little bit, exercise.
I ain't even recognizing you right now. Who are you? The heck? From last week to this week? Jeez.
Nah, it might be the distance on the computer, man.
No, cuz no. I don't recognize you, bro. Your face is slimming out.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Gotta keep on.
You doing that crack cocaine over there, huh? Like, I'm just playing with you. What you doing, man?
No more.
Mm-hmm.
No, just switched up on the eating a little bit. Been hitting that gym every morning. Usually there with my son. I'll most of the time I'll do a little bit for me, and then some of the time I'm doing coaching. But I'll try to do a little bit of exercise while I'm coaching.
Oh man, don't be having no more babies, bro. You know what happens when they slim down.
Oh man,
My wife slimmed down. Shoot, next you know, Gigi was born. Don't
uh,
tell her. I'll be sipping on water today, man. Because last week, man, I tried to sip on some coffee, man. When the show was over, I was like waking everybody up, like, "What y'all doing?" Ladies, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. What y'all doing? You trying to do something?
talk about like on Facebook, everybody they be like, "Who's up?"
That's what I was doing. And my kids was off last week, fall break for the whole week. So you know how that was. But yeah, I was like waking up. Hey, you want to play some Nintendo Switch?
Man,
I was up.
like y'all kids always up.
Oh, you know how they do it in the South, man. They go to school early and they get out early. But that week, man, this year we actually did things differently. I told my wife ahead of time. I was like, man, I noticed what people do down here in this small town. Like everybody's gone, and in the fall break. So I was like, look, they're gonna be out the house, so we could go sneak in and steal something. It's like, no, I ain't say that, but but real talk. I just told her I was like, just get off ahead of time and be off the whole week, and we finally planned it out right, and the spring break we're gonna try to do the same thing, but this time we might try to go somewhere to the beach or something. What I like about living down here, like I always say, is it's far away from everybody, but it's close to beaches. I could go to Miami, I go to Atlanta, I go to New Orleans. Everything's pretty close. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man, that's definitely huge. You know, with all that being around, because when you're up in the north, it's a big thing for us to go over to DC. But the ability to go down to Myrtle Beach, that I think that'd probably be like 11 hours for us to go down to Atlanta. It's like 14, 13. Get down to Florida, down to Orlando. If you're not flying, then it's probably like 18 hours, and the fly it's going to be $2,000 round trip.
Right.
If you got a family.
Right. I don't know, man. I felt like when I get older. Well, we went to where did we go? We went to Destin Beach. I don't know if you in the comments, man. You've been to Destin Beach. Put a 1 in the comments if you ever been down there. But I actually liked it, man. I was like, I can see myself living down here, man. It's like it's quiet, respectful, but there's tourists there, obviously. But man, it was really nice. I went there for a week with my wife a few times. Took the kids down there. My son is in the martial arts, black belt. Shout out to him. And we went to a tournament down there, and we had a good time, man. They had this little restaurant called Bubba Gump Shrimp.
You serious?
Yes, I'm totally serious.
Wow.
And it was pretty good though. The shrimp was amazing.
Those places down south, they'll have a meal. They'll call it like the garbage plate, and then they'll just put everything on there. They like eat it.
That'd be good too.
But it'd be good.
Guilty pleasures. Guilty
Yeah,
pleasures.
do they have Jolly Rogers down there?
Not down this way.
Okay. No, in the Carolinas, they got that. They might have one in Orlando, but yeah, man, I remember I saw a meal down at Jolly Rogers. It was called trash. I asked what that was. They was like, it's a little bit of that, a little bit of this. We put the bacon, the eggs, the grits. We just throw the whole kitchen sink at it. So, me to say if you like to eat trash.
Yeah, when you was talking like that, I was actually drooling. I was about to it was tempting. Yeah, so if you're on here today, definitely like, subscribe, share. Hit those ones, man. If you like to eat like we do, well, you don't like to eat anymore. You actually losing weight, So congratulations to you. You know what I'm saying?
Eat differently. So I like to eat. Just got to eat differently.
So, what do you do? Do you just like wait till a certain time? Do you fast? A lot of people's doing fasting for 16 hours and then eating an 8-hour window. What are you doing?
I never set like a specific time, but I think it's usually around like anywhere between 2 and 4 o'clock. That's when I'll usually eat something. So, they hit us with the okie doke. They said you gotta have breakfast. That's the most important meal of the day.
Right.
Not knowing that they were setting us up for failure.
Man, they were selling that cocaine. They put that sugar in everything. Like, you need to have breakfast. You remember I forgot what president I heard you know how they have the food groups and they used to push it in schools and the government schools and all that good stuff. Well, when I found out that one of the presidents, I don't know who it was, it might have been Eisenhower, I don't know which one, but he had a heart attack and he was trying to eat right. So they just changed up the whole eating system on him, eating grains and stuff, not knowing that turns into sugar and people getting fat. And we're like the most obese country. Don't go to Africa because they think you're rich. If you go over there a little chunky, they'll be like, oh, you're rich. Will you marry me? You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, man, they think you got money. You 195 pounds, they think you rich.
Over there, they start changing the prices on you. They like, that milk is going to be $15 American.
That's right. I remember I went to Jamaica. I forgot, it was like 2010 because my wife's family's Jamaican. And we went over there, and I'm hungry over there, man. I'm like, yo, I gotta find something to eat because I was just skeptical about their food, because you're so used to eating what we're eating over here. There's all this nasty food, and they had some breadfruit and all this other crap with like fish with eyes on it and stuff. I was like, I ain't eating that. Let's find the nearest grocery store, right? So I go over there. I'm in the grocery store. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get me some Pop-Tarts. That would last me for a while. Maybe see if they got some ramen noodles. That's how we last in the hood, right? And so I go there and so I was gonna get some Fruit Loops. I saw some Fruit Loops. I was like, oh word, they got Americanized Fruit Loops. So I go get the Fruit Loops, and then so I'm looking for the dairy aisle. I'm walking around like, where's this dairy aisle? So I asked the Jamaican. He told me where it was, and it was a can of goat milk. I put that daggone thing cereal, went back down and went and got some freaking Pop-Tarts and called it a day, man. Goat milk? I'm like, man, don't disrespect me like that, bro. You want to see these hands? That's what I said to him. But anyway, I'm playing around. But yeah. And then like you go in them little shops and they because they thought I was Jamaican because I'm dark skinned. You know what I mean? So I'm over there. But as soon as I say something, they start looking like, and they start raising the price like that's $600. I'm like, but it says 500 right here. 650. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, you going the wrong way, bro. So rule number one: if you go out of town, definitely go with someone who knows the city or the country. You know. You ever been out to other country?
Not yet. I'm, I got my passport, pretty late, but I'm looking to make that happen pretty soon. Got
You want to wait till after this Cody?
Yeah, you gotta be pretty picky, with the Cody, and you gotta make sure your vacations are in order because they want you to take the vacation.
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So, for people watching, did you watch that battle, the Verzuz? Did you watch that? If you did, put a one in the comments if you watched this. When you watch, if you're watching this later, put the ones up if you watched it. Epic. But we'll get into that in a minute. So what are we gonna be discussing today?
Well, got a couple of different important topics here. Of course, we know that the KRS versus Big Daddy Kane, just like you had just alluded to.
That's right.
Also, what are your thoughts on how Kyrie Irving's been getting treated? Kyrie Irving, National Basketball Association pro basketball player, star for the Brooklyn Nets. Once again, another New York connection. Give it up to New York real quick.
Yes. Why are we giving up to New York? They're the one with these
oh yeah,
mandatory.
Take that back. Clap it backward.
How about we boo them? Who wants to go to New York and Cali right now? So unattractive right now.
Terrible. So are the vacation mandates now for those of you who are watching? Hey, we gotta be careful with the algorithm. We have to make sure we comply with the rules of YouTube and Facebook. So read between the lines. You know what the vacation is, but are the vacation mandates ethical? Keep that in mind. Earlier, there was a little bit of controversy. One of the congressional representatives, Madison Cawthorn, that's the one who's in the wheelchair. I don't know if you had seen him, but he said to tell the women to raise their boys to be a monster. So a little bit of controversy regarding that statement, floating around.
I wonder if there's a video, anybody talking about that. Did you see anything on YouTube?
Well, I found a little bit of the video. It was, pretty short. The whole speech isn't on there, but I could put up the 2-minute clip.
Okay, so I guess whenever we discuss that, let's just put that on the screen as well. There's something also you talked about. We were talking about it earlier, and I think you were talking about Busta Rhymes. Like, who should battle Busta Rhymes? Is that what you was talking? You posted something that on your social media, I believe.
Yeah. I was saying that I believe, a lot of people were saying who should Busta Rhymes battle in the next Verzuz. Apparently, there were 5 rappers who ended up turning it down. Now, there were some rumors out there in regards to who those rappers are. I'm not sure if the sources have been verified, but my thought is, Busta Rhymes, okay, his style. He's a lyrical genius, but he's also, coming with these fast words. He could take it up to, however many words per minute. He starts talking like, better, and he slows it down. He's like, better. but he can go back and forth in between it. He can do it at will. So that's one aspect of it. Also, he has a huge catalog. Like he has his own albums, but then he's been featured with nearly everybody in the game. At least from, I'll say, from 2014 going on back. He's been featured on everybody's stuff, so makes it even longer. So to be able to match something like that, you'd have to have someone who has a catalog to where they have a lot of albums out, as well if they've been featured on, a lot of other people's stuff. And I would say Eminem would probably fit that perfectly.
Yeah. I see. Well, going back to what you said about Busta Rhymes, I remember listening to a story on why he even started doing that, and because for the people who familiar with him, he was on Leaders of the New School way back in the day, in early 90s, and they broke up. They were fighting, and I think on one of their hits, their biggest hits, they was fighting on the. They broke up. Actually, they were on Yo MTV Raps, and they broke up on there. And so I think at the time, Busta Rhymes had a baby, and he didn't know what he was going to do. So what he would do is he would always stay in like the studios and stuff and see who's writing songs, and then that's how he was trying to. That's how he was making money, because he would try to get on the track. So that's why if you go back in time, he was along a lot of Bad Boy stuff, because he was in the studio with Puffy. He was on a lot of Q-Tip stuff in that group, Tribe Called Quest, and that's what he got known for. And then he ended up getting I think his debut album was like 95 or something. I can't remember, but and another story I heard is he was saying this story. Him, Jay-Z, and Big Daddy, not Big Daddy Kane, Biggie Smalls, they went to the same high school. And so they used to battle in high school. And Jay-Z used to rap fast since the 88. He used to rap fast because he was with Jaz-O. He got his name from Jaz-O. And then he was with the Big Daddy Kane. And you see Big Daddy Kane could rap fast if you watch the Verzuz. And so he destroyed Busta Rhymes. And Busta Rhymes still want him to this day. So he keep calling out Jay-Z, but Jay-Z's past that. You know what I mean? Jay-Z like, no, I'm on this billion, this Billy. So like he had a long career, and he said ever since Jay-Z was rapping fast to him in class, he's like, I got to master that, and which he did.
So Jay-Z, I guess he has a pattern. When he passed something, he passed it. Because remember, he was making a big deal in regards to the Kaepernick stuff and the kneeling, and the NFL was racist. But once he got the deal, we're past kneeling. We got to move on. We can't be sitting there just focusing on the past all day. We got to get to the money.
That's what I was going to say. Everything with him is about money. You remember that one song, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. Like he'll see a lane, and he'll see he can make the bag, and that's what shout out to him, because that's what we need. I was thinking about this other day. With all this lockdown, and I'm like, man, right now we should be trying to get bags. Every day you should be waking up trying to get bags. Most people don't do that. Most people is like trying to be entertained and giving up their money. And I'm like, man, I got to try to get some bags here, man. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of bags, man, if you're going to support this channel, definitely hit that Cash App, man. We appreciate the people who's doing that. It gives us an opportunity to do what we're doing. They always talk about supporting businesses, supporting Black businesses. Well, this is your chance to support. So definitely hit that Cash App. And again, we appreciate the people who are doing that. It's really helping us channel out. But Eminem, I would love this. It would be epic for the Verzuz. It's already epic now. Like they've been doing man. Shout out to Swiss Beats and Timberland. But to take to take it back to Eminem, especially from watching that movie and taking it back from the Detroit days when he used to do this. Oh man, that would be so dope for him. That would be so dope for hip hop. But he said he forgot how to rap.
Really?
Yeah, I heard an interview because most of the time he was always high. Matter of fact, I thought it was on 60 Minutes. Remember he did the relapse and all that stuff. I mean, like when you listen to him, his raps ain't that good. I mean, he just knows how to rap fast, and it sounds like that little pattern. It sounds good, but if you basically break down what he's saying, it's not really. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because I compare stuff all the time. Like my son tells me about Kanye West. You said it. Like I'm comparing it to the old Kanye. Well, I tried to listen to that Kanye again. It's trash. I listened to the whole thing. I don't like it, but like maybe I am prisoner of the moment and I just compare to their last greatest hit. I don't know, but
Mm.
this one is trash. But anyway, but it would be dope to see Eminem in the ring. I don't see Jay-Z doing it. You know, I don't know anybody else who could battle Busta Rhymes with his catalog.
Mm.
Like, because they do 20 songs each. You know, and
Right.
he got some bangers. I mean, only person I can think of, and it wouldn't even be it would just be like a concert. Is like T Pain, he, or no, better yet, which he turned it down. Lil Wayne, Lil
Mm.
Wayne got a lot of hits, but he turned it down.
He got a lot of hits. It just, I don't know. I think the styles would be completely different, but either way, it would be a good show. It would be a great show. So
Yeah, yeah.
Steph needs to step in there.
Now, I don't know, because he'll if there's a crowd there, he gonna embarrass you with his all that stuff. Like I don't know, man, but shout out to them. Um, now the battle was epic, man. I mean, I used to talk to my cousin about this. My cousin, shout out to my cousin Terry. Him and my brother back in the '80s, they inspired me to even like rap music. The people who don't know, shout out to Supreme, Dante, Josie. God rest the dead. He passed away a couple years ago. But I just remember growing up and we had one TV. We was living in Wilkinsburg, and I wanted to watch Sunday morning cartoons, and I just never could watch it because my cousin and Dante and my sister was always, well, not so much my sister, but they was watching UMTV Raps. Anybody remember UMTV Raps? Man, hit that one in the comments and the like buttons. But yeah, so they used to watch UMTV Raps all the time, and that's why I mean, you know, uh, I know so much about music because I had to sit there and listen to it. You know what I mean? And then so I knew about Big Daddy Kane. Now, Big Daddy Kane at the time, he was one of the baddest rappers. Like my brother had the same high top box. They used to call him Kane in Wilkinsburg. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And you talk about, how like what's his name? Mr. Still Your Girl. He always say, what's the dude's name? Singer.
Trey Songz.
Trey Songz, right? Man, listen, KRS-One. I mean, not KRS-One. Big Daddy Kane would take anybody's girl back then. Like he was
Mm.
before his time. He should have. If he would have came out when Puffy came out, he would have been the greatest rapper alive. That's how much people liked him. But he was just too before his time, you know. And like I said, my brother used to rap, and he used to kind of have his style. He had the little part on the side, the three parts, and a big half. I mean, a lot of people had the box. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we moved to Braddock, and I just remember he took it serious at this point. We get to Braddock. He was just. I think my mom took him out of school, and he ended up getting equipment. And him and my cousin, they started a group called um, Basement Funk Productions. And all I know is like they had a big buzz. They used to go to talent shows. They battled what's the one dude's name? From the Hill. Oh man, Mailman.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's when Mailman was coming up. Anybody know about Mailman? Mailman made it big because he was on Death Row Records. He actually like all that music. The Pittsburgh sound was in Death Row. Ain't that crazy?
Really?
Yeah. Go look at trying to think. I'm losing my because I don't have these CDs. I don't listen to music anymore. But on the Chronic 2000, look on the back of there. It was Mailman's production.
Wow.
He was on Eminem's. He did stuff on Eminem's exhibits. Like Dr. Dre came because my brother met him when he came to Pittsburgh and he was looking for talent. He got Sam Snead from McKeesport and he ended up getting Mailman. And my brother met with him and he ain't take him, but I'm glad he ain't get him because they was on some foul stuff over there in Death Row. Woo, that was God. You know what I'm saying? Because when they took Sam Snead over there, right? If anybody I don't know if anybody noticed or remember, but Sam Snead did a song in Tupac, and this is when the East Coast West Coast beef was going on, right? And yeah, man, Tupac was in the room, and what's his name, Suge Knight, and he looked at dude and say, "Hey," they played this song, and they had it on the TV, and they was like, "Why aren't there any West Coast dudes on here?" And they said Tupac came across the table with the Outlaws and stomped him out. I don't know, you remember that? So I'm just happy. I'm happy that didn't work. And then my brother, he ended up. I remember one day he was making beats up in Juneway. Anybody know about Juneway in Pittsburgh? I mean in Braddock, but somebody from Wu Tang came through there and bought a song from him. You know, so that's how far like hip hop that I go back. That's what I remember because he was pretty much buzzing in the city. You know, but far going back to this Verzuz. Now, there's a couple things. First off, I get a shout out to what they did because that was amazing to be that old. You know what I mean? Like they was giving a lesson to people. So I'll give what I liked about it, and I'll say things I didn't like about it. But I like the fact that they was on time. That's the big thing, man. Because there was a couple. Like I remember watching the Jadakiss one. They was not on time there. It was kind of.
Now, was that one? Refresh me. Was that them not being on time because they weren't on time, or they just weren't prepared?
I think no. The Locks was out there. They were prepared. It was Dipset.
Mm.
I don't know what was going on. Like they were so unprepared, man. Yeah. So KRS-One was out there already. He was waiting, and Big Daddy Kane came out a little bit later, and so I like KRS-One's spirit. He came out there like, "Yo, just drop the beat. Forget this dude. He's scared." That's what he said, and he just came out and did his. I think can you find the go in there and find the song chart if we could. I'll try to find it as well. But so I think he did number one first, one of his songs. I think, but I don't know. But he set the tone out, and he was going. And all right, you see me? All right, but what I was about Kane, man, that Kane was going like a mile per hour, like he was flowing, right? He was using all his songs too, and he was trying to set the tone, which I loved about that. He ain't missing a word. He was not lip singing. He was, man. I think. I mean, from watching it before the first time, I think it was a tie. But then I watched it again. I think Kane got him, man. I think Kane got him. Only thing I would say, false performance, Kane was a better performer. Like he was on it, man. He had these freestyles. Um, he was moving. He wasn't on the ball. Man, he was on it. Now, what I didn't like about KRS-One, which KRS-One is my dude, my cousin got me on him. My cousin Terry, shout out to him. And when I went to see him in concert down here, it was amazing. It was great, you know. But then, you know, with the verses, maybe Jadakiss set the bar, but he kept on having to use the crowd. You know what I'm saying? He's like letting the crowd sing, and I didn't like that. And then he looked like he was about to like he was eating too much salty meats or something because he was like sweaty. It looked like he was out of breath. Looked like he had to stop. And then what I did
you
like about
accused KRS-One of eating pork.
yeah, man. Like he was like real sweaty, like, and he was like out of breath. I'm like, please don't have a heart attack on this stage. You know, it was bad, man. Like he was like having the whole crowd sing. I'm like, man, this is the verses, man. This is a verses. Like you could do that in a concert, but here you have to spit. You know, like I said, Jadakiss set the tone. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't do that, maybe I'd be okay with it. But so what I would say, as far as the music, if you find a lineup, I don't know if you can find a songs lineup, but
Yeah, I found that round. I guess round by round.
okay. Now, what I would say is, because you know, Kane only got 2 albums, so most of that stuff was freestyling. And I watched the interview with him after, and he was basically saying he thought they were going to freestyle more, but I think he wanted to freestyle because he ran out of hits. Like he ran out of hits. Like Big Daddy Kane got hits from back 86, 87, all the way to now. He's still writing songs, you know? So I think that Kane ran out of songs, but the songs he did spit, and he was killing them to me, you know. And like I said, I'm not even a Kane fan. Now I wish he would have got the Juice Crew to come. I know. Shout out to MC Shan. He's down here in Atlanta, and you know he got money. He got money now. You know he got the bag, and I don't think he liked Mr. Magic and all them people, or you know, on the Juice Crew. For the people who just tuned in, this was an epic battle to me because when he did The Bridge Is Over and you know all them songs, South Bronx and stuff like that, this started his career. KRS-One, because he wasn't out, and for any hip hop heads know back then, Mr. Magic had a radio station. He was the black Johnny Carson. You had to go on his and bring your tape to him. Shout out, hit a like button if anybody know what I'm talking about. You had to bring your tape to him, and if he plays it on the radio and don't like it, he's going to dish you that whole time, and your career is over, done.
Wow.
Right? He was Johnny Carson. You remember Johnny Carson used to do that, where he got comedians on there, and if he didn't invite you to sit down with him, your career is not going to flourish. You know what I'm saying? So Mr. Magic said his stuff was garbage. It was him and Scott LaRock.
Yes, was.
Wow.
So
he got mad, and he went, you know, in the cipher with 10 and 20 of his guys, and like, man, my stuff is garbage. It was like MC Shan is garbage. And then he came out with a song. He basically did the 50 Cent back then.
Hold on. You have to talk the way that KRS talk. He said, my stuff is garbage. That man can walk. He can go.
You do it better than me. Yeah, so so anyway, he did that song, and it just blew up on the radio. And so that's why I think this was an epic battle, because this is how his career started. And Big Daddy Kane was with the Juice Crew. Now, one thing that I did like, but I wish he would have spit a little bit more, is Roxanne Shante came out, and she spit her verse. Now, it would have been dope, like I said, if the Juice Crew would have came, but they broken up, man. Like what's the one dude? Cool G Rap. Now, Cool G Rap is Nas sounds like Cool G Rap. Like he was inspired by him. And if he would have came out and they did the symphony, I think he still did the symphony. But if they would have did the symphony, man, come on, man. You know. But and then there's one part I didn't like. they brought out the break dancers, and the whole show was basically trying to school people on how what the real hip hop is. Because in my opinion, real hip hop is dead, and it died the other night. Because you had these old break dancers on here, like these old Ben Gay smelling. I was like, bruh, that's like saying Dr. J could play a one-on-one game right now. Like, hey, Dr. J, and he go out there. Come on, man. Like, it was bad, man. And I didn't like that because they look like some old people that need to be sit your butt down. Like you got a curfew. Go to bed at 9 o'clock, man, and eat your eat your Pringles by the bed and go to bed. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that part. I mean, I like the idea of it. Now they did have a young person out there that came with it and did his thing, which I appreciate. But the old dudes, man, I was like, come on, man. So that was cool, and it was good though, man. Like a lot of people, it brought back their childhood, man. And KRS-One, like I said, why are you gonna go? This is what I don't like about rappers. Why are you going out there with all this hot stuff on that hot stage, and then you all sitting there look like you about to have a stroke?
Hmm.
KRS-One was like that. So shout out to Kane, man. Kane came up correct, man. I don't even think he was sweating, man. He was out there getting it, man. He made me want to go see him in a concert.
Now, is he touring?
He was. They both were touring. Yeah, he be out there. He's out there. Matter of fact, he came to there's a video online when he did a show in Pittsburgh. Is Soldiers and Sailors still there?
Yeah. Yep.
It was either there or it was like a Homewood somewhere, I think. If anybody went there, let me know in the comments, where that was. But overall, I know I'm just saying the pros and cons, but overall it was amazing. I'm just nitpicking. You know what I'm saying? But overall it was really good. Oh, made me think about it. Kid Capri was not ready. Kid Capri disappointed me, man. Because they had two DJs up there.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Daddy Kane's DJ was getting at him, and he wasn't. He disappointed me. And I know everybody want to talk about Kid Capri and how good he was and all this stuff, but I saw Kid Capri live in Pittsburgh. It was at I think Hines Ward had a party. This is when the Steelers was good, and I think James Ferrier was there, Mike Logan, all them dudes, man. Ike Taylor was there, and this is when we got stunted on back then. I remember this.
Was this at his restaurant or somewhere?
No, this was in the Strip district.
Okay.
I forgot. All them clubs is gone now, but I forgot it was one of those clubs. So I'm out there in front. This dude, Hines Ward, rolled up in a Bentley coupe. It was like slow motion. He gets out, throw the keys to the dude. I'm looking at the keys real slow, like. Dude caught it. He just walked right in. I'm like, damn, it's cold out here too. I'm sitting there like trying to get in. And yeah, so dude was DJing there, man, and he was trash to me. I don't know. I ain't a fan.
Like, I mean, what was it like? He wasn't good at like fading between the songs, or
Yes, the blending was weak. His song selection was whack. Like, you should know when like your job as a DJ should be keeping these people up dancing. And if they're getting off the dance floor, come on now. Like, think about them times when you're at a party or a club and there's so many hits going on that nobody want to get off the floor. They want to keep on dancing. Like for instance, when Beyonce was hot and they was playing Put a Ring on It or whatever, nobody wanted to go sit down, right? People was leaving, sitting down. I was like, man, this dude is trash. You gotta know your audience,
right? And that's definitely huge, man. Because I've seen some great DJs. Definitely, my man DJ Love.
Mm-hmm.
Esquire Harris. In the old school, we of course got Nick Nice.
Shout out to that dude. He did everybody's weddings, bar mitzvahs, uh, kids party, graduation, and
Funeral.
he same energy, man.
Yep.
Ooh,
Graduation. Yeah.
man, that's a legend right there. I was gonna fly him in down here one time. I was like, "Look, man, I'm trying to have a party. Why don't you come down here?" He's booked up.
Mm.
Like he don't play any games, man.
Yeah. How long is his when he did the little workout? Is it 20 minutes or
20 minutes,
20 minutes?
and you ain't gonna want to sit down.
Non-stop.
Man, I remember I first saw him. I had a graduation party that I went to way back in the day, and he was killing it, man. Then I had him for my wedding. I think we all, well, you didn't have him for your wedding, but I think Dame had him for the wedding. He was good, man. He's really good.
Yep. DJ Nick Nice. He's nice.
Right. So like I said, I give it to Kane, man. Kane did his thing. KRS-One wasn't no slouch either. I think what Kane won because again he had way more hits than he did. He had a lot of hits. Name some of those songs on the list. Is it in order?
Yeah, so here, let me get back to that. So the first round.
You put it on the screen or no?
Yeah, I can do that. Give me 1 second. They got it on here as like this big thing. Obviously, I'm not going to play the videos, but that right there. All right. Should be up. Let me make sure it's on the. All right, there we go. Yeah, so round one we had Criminal Minded, just rhyming with Biz. Now they gave it to KRS-One for that one. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe that too. That was a good song. Well, what song did Kane put out again? Because it sounded like a freestyle.
Criminal Minded.
No, that's Boogie Down Productions. What's the other one? Scroll down, or wait, let me see. I can't see it.
Let me see.
That's KRS-One's song.
Yeah. And that is this right here.
I barely can see that.
Just rhyming with Biz off of Biz Marquee.
Okay, yeah. He did that record. I agree with that. KRS-One won that round.
Okay, so the next one, KRS-One put up "I'm Still Number One." Big Daddy Kane, "Enough Respect" remix.
I think that's a tie to me. Who did they give it to?
KRS-One.
I don't know. I get out of tie, man. What y'all think? Who's watching this? Who saw it? I think it was a tie.
Oh man, now I knew who should have won this by just looking at the song selection. So round three, MCs Act Like They Don't Know, and Big Daddy Kane with that Young, Gifted, and Black.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane got that one too.
Yep. See, next one, he did. KRS did the MC, and he did Out of Here. Let's see. Big Daddy Kane did Rap Summary from Lean on Me.
Yeah, I agree with this because this is the time when he start rapping real fast, doing them little fast lyrics, man. He started killing it at this point. And one thing I did like about what his strategy is he waited till KRS-One did something, and then he told his DJ to play a song. Like they had the list, but he would like pick whatever he did. He would try to top it.
So that was on the movie soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was a great movie there. But I'm gonna have to watch that again. East Side High.
Joe Clark.
Yeah. Not Clark.
Man, Big Daddy Kane was in Playgirl
No,
magazine.
wow.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane was a big deal back then.
He didn't know his worth back then, huh? Know your worth, King. It's like,
He's getting any chick he wanted to back then.
oh man. Let me see. Round 5. Jack of Spades from KRS. Set it off.
Yeah, this is when Kane had a run right here.
Yeah, they gave that to Kane. See KRS-One. Dang. Man. My Philosophy versus Mortal Kombat. Kane again.
Mm-hmm.
KRS-One gotta do 2 songs for his ones. Super Ho and Jimmy versus I Get the Job Done. Big Daddy Kane again.
Big Daddy Kane, he brought out Nice and Smooth, and then KRS-One brought out Dawes Effects, and they just would not shut up. I think somebody was like, "Man, get him off the stage." At the end, because they kept on going, they was like, "Hey, they ain't been on stage in 20 years." Like they didn't want to get off.
Yep, right there. They gave that round. Big Daddy Kane. Let's see.
Damn, Big Daddy Kane making a run, huh?
Wow. Black Cop versus Raw. Big Daddy Kane. Let's see.
Smooth operator.
The Real Hip Hop versus Smooth. Dang. He was on a run. Go to the next page.
Yeah, but like I said, I think KRS-One did good. I think honestly, like he had a better song selection as a whole because he has a lot of hits. But anyway, yeah, man. So let's hold off on that. What you think about Kyrie's situation?
Let me just. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, man, because I think it's a lot bigger than it's bigger than basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, Kyrie Irving plays for the Brooklyn Nets. Great basketball player. He helped LeBron James to be able to beat the Giants. He helped them to be able to beat the Golden State Warriors. What was their record? 73
wins, 9 losses.
73-9.
Greatest team ever. One of them, arguably.
So these two, they came out as the giant killers. Hero, he left. They assembled this team in Brooklyn. It's the super team. They got Kevin Durant, they got Kyrie Irving, they got what's his name with the beard, James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have Russell at some point, did they? Westbrook. Okay, he was just with Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but this team was expected to be able to win 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Kevin Durant was injured. Kyrie had some things going on, but this was supposed to be the year, and people were expecting them to make a huge run. Kevin Durant's healthy, James Harden's healthy, Kyrie's healthy. Then all of a sudden, we have the Cody crisis going on, and there were some changes that came with it. And went to the NBA where everyone was fine before with them just, taking tests maybe 2-3 times a week. But all of a sudden, because the government says, no, you can't do it that way in certain cities and states, mainly in New York and California, they started off with saying, okay, you can't do your home games here. You play for Golden State and you don't have the vacation, you can't play your home games here. So, Kyrie, anyone who knows Kyrie Irving knows that he is a self-thinker. He is a he thinks for himself. I mean, I don't agree with everything that he says, but I respect him. Just like I don't agree that the Earth is flat, but if that's his opinion, and just like in this situation with the mandates, okay, the man is just saying that he wants to be able to at least get more information, and they just lost it. They
Mm-hmm.
thought him stupid and he unscientific. Just trust the science. Did you know? Especially all of my African Americans, all my black people who are watching. Did you know that you should trust the government on everything that they say? Don't worry about all that Tuskegee stuff and all that stuff in the past.
Mm.
Just forget about all that. Whatever they say to do, they say jump. You better say how high, because that's what they're basically doing. They're trying to produce complying sheep.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. With these mandates going on. So Kyrie, all he's saying is, number one, he doesn't want to take it. Number two, it's most probable that based off of his health status and his age and his physical capabilities, he's in one of the least risk groups.
Yeah.
And at that time, 90% of the NBA, they took the vacation already. So if it does what it says it's supposed to do, then why are they worried about what Kyrie Irving is doing?
Right. And I totally agree with that. I'm not going to talk about if it works or don't work, but it just baffles my mind because just last year everybody was saying, "Oh, we should be able to have abortions." You can't tell what a woman want to do with their body, and and then I heard Magic Johnson say something like, he was like, "Oh man, if I was playing, I wouldn't do that to my teammates." I'm like, for real? Because you put everybody in jeopardy having that HIV.
Right.
He
Yeah.
was trying to play. You remember that? And Karl Malone and all them like, nah, bro, you ain't put me in jeopardy. That was a time when people didn't know what was going on. They thought you could sneeze on somebody and get AIDS, get HIV. So I'm like, I just don't think that's right. But obviously, companies have a right to do what they want to do. I guess if you can't work there unless you comply. And but I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm gonna play a video that I just put together with because before I get into it, I don't like the media. Like my job, what I'm doing is I'm attacking the media, because they are one band, one sound. They're controlled by the elites. Everybody is saying the same thing. And I remember I used to go to my boy works at, well, I ain't gonna say all that, but I have a friend that works at a news center. You know what I mean? And I noticed because I used to go see a show, and everything is scripted. Like the commentator, they're reading off the prompter, getting from this information. You can't go off of this prompter. Like you can't just freestyle stuff. And we can see that what happened with Stephen A. Smith with that little snake dude, man. Stephen A's a snake. Money over everything. Because you remember when he tried to go off script and he tried to say, Ray Rice, where he's talking about the women, like maybe the women, his woman provoked him to hit her. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, they knew that dude quick.
Mm-hmm.
So showing that right there, they pay you to say what they can't say. That's what's with Skip Bayless. If you notice, if you look at any media across the country, they always hire a black person or they'll get somebody on as a black person because they can't say these things to the black community, so they'll get somebody else to do it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
why. And I remember Jason Whitlock just talked about it. You know, they get these people because they can't do it. Like Skip Bayless cannot talk about black people like he wants to, so he hired Shannon Sharp. Skip, come on, Skip. You know what I'm saying? He hired him, and he's just a snake, man. He's a cornball, man. So I'm gonna play this quick video with David Banner talking about him indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people saw it already. It was floating around social media. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, pull it up, Skip. Come on.
Skip. Come on now, Skip.
Skip.
All right, here we go. Skip.
Goodbye. Rolling fees that rack up overseas. Hello, automatic coverage. When
That's it. You pull up a video from
Gotta get paid.
Sports
Play
Nation.
those
Do you
ads.
know that you can make money on YouTube right now without starting a channel?
Getting
I
paid
know
right
it's
now talking about this, huh?
first,
Come on,
and
ads.
Commentator, and I don't call people's names because that makes it personal, and then people lose the message. But I see a commentator who discusses things, but when anybody else tries to talk, he cut them off.
I think you're wrong because LeBron is the best player.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Don't you ever call up to my show again and open up disrespecting me.
There you go.
You don't have a right to do that.
Jalen, Skip Bayless, I need y'all to be quiet and listen to me. Because let me tell you something right now. I'm disgusted with both of y'all.
the Philly fans didn't leave them. They were behind it. You should be allowed to talk basketball. Philadelphia agrees with me. Allowed. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Go ahead, Molly.
You see this dude just cooning, acting for the camera. You see?
Mm-hmm.
They hire him to do this. You know, don't get off a script. Be a buffoon.
Who is this? I don't even want to talk to Max right now.
Maybe the Knicks should be doing that.
Did you just say that?
Did you hear what I just said?
Sorry.
Same record
I
as
just
the
threw the
Knicks.
sword on
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you not listening to me. I'm tired of you hearing what you want to hear. I'm tired of you lumping it into. Listen, I'm tired of you hearing good guys and bad guys, my side and the bad side. I'm tired of you saying anything that disagrees with you is beyond the realm of politics. I'm tired of being moral. I'm tired of you saying it's moral versus immoral.
He doesn't let him even be heard. And the same commentator said when he stepped into the game, he did anything he needed to do to make his boss money.
Right there. You see that?
Yep.
Wake up every morning with two thoughts: how to get my boss more money, and how do I get it? So he's gonna do anything for money. He don't give a crap. He put it out himself.
Man. So they put the blueprint out.
Operative word is boss. The same person I watch a white man hold down our community better than he does.
Transparency, Stephen A. And that's like I've done it. I've had incidents throughout the course of my career. And then there have been times where I've gone into interviews where I've done an hour and a half, 2 hours of an interview. And then they break down and they edit. And then you guys get on the show and there's a panel of people. And then they break down whatever clips that they show. They're not showing the entire hour and a half or 2 hours of that interview that I've done. So what he wanted was transparency for people to see the full workout, to see the full Colin Kaepernick. Again, you mentioned obviously Max is going to get in here. And like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with what?
Wait till you see Stephen A's he snaps out the trance right here. Watch this.
With his coming, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to check you right now. You don't cross the line.
I'm just saying.
Time. Wait a minute. You don't cross the line. First of all, like I said, you, Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reed, any of y'all that want to debate me in front of black people and talk about what's best for black people, name the time and place, I'll show up. I don't want to hear, what's the definition of blackness? Is there a definitive definition of blackness? Why are you giving the impression that because I don't march lockstep with every single thing that Colin Kaepernick wants Okay, excuse me. Hold on.
And
Wait a
I'm
minute.
not agreeing.
Wait a minute.
I'm not
Hold
agreeing
on,
with
T.O.
everything that Colin Kaepernick has done.
I'm not saying that, but you said,
Okay.
you just sat up there and used an expression, more blacker. Excuse me, from Hollis, Queens, New York City.
More black.
You ain't the only brother out there that's in the streets. I'm in the streets every day.
I get it.
And I'm a matter. So let's be very.
And then,
Is he really though? Is he really in the streets, man?
What streets?
Cowboy, man, that dude is full of it. He is paid. He's paid. They give him a script to tell the people the same thing that and for instance, why you got two gay people on CNN doing 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock news? You got Don Lemon and what's the other good, Anderson Cooper, and they don't do real journalism. It's all opinionated, you know. Oh, let me see. Yeah, man. I used to like Stephen A. too, man. I used to like him, but he is straight cooning. But I'm gonna continue to play out what the dude's saying.
from my understanding, just my understanding, I may be wrong about this. Then he gets thrown off the show because he has other views. On my podcast, I always tell my people, say what you have to say because you may be right. You know, it's so funny how every Black History Month we talk about leaders who made sacrifices. We always say in our community that we want to change. Well, inner change, what encompasses change is you doing something different, not doing the same shit over and over again. And so you have Black people who are trying to do something different, and you have the audacity to crucify them in public. What if you're wrong? What if you're leading people down a path that is not right?
Yeah, I'll play the rest of it in a little bit. But what you think about what he's saying?
Well, I mean, I think he's definitely right, man. Stephen A. has been paid to, I mean, he's pretty much kind of leading the rest of the sheep. Mm-hmm. I remember on Looney Tunes, right? You remember there used to be that dog who you couldn't ever see his eyes. He'd be chasing the sheep. And sometimes he would dress up as one of the sheep. The next thing you know, you try to get him. But whatever the case, man, you know, it's definitely important to recognize that if you're just
hold on, I'm sorry, cut you off real quick. Give me 1 second. I gotta get something. My power cord. Let me get out of here. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's all good. But if you're just going with the flow without doing any type of critical thinking, if you're just being a sheep, you know, you gotta realize that somewhere around there, just like I had said it earlier, I had brought it up on Facebook. I had said that if you make yourself a sheep, then the wolves are going to eat you. You know, Ben Franklin had actually said that, but you got to watch out. You know, so Stephen A., in my opinion, represents that wolf in sheep clothing, or at least he's the black sheep that's going to feed you over to the bigger wolves, you know, or he's employed by the wolves. So you got to watch out from what those type of figures are saying. I definitely recommend to really think about, you know, what they're saying or doing, because Stephen A. doesn't seem to represent the best for, you know, everyone, much less the Black community. It seems like Stephen A., he's doing exactly what he said in that tweet. He's trying to represent Stephen A. and make Stephen A. some money by making the boss some money and seeing how much of it he can get.
That's right, man. And I got another video I want to play. We got to talk about this America. Now, if you watch it, man, if you with Kyrie Irving, hit the one button, hit the one. If you're not, hit two. I mean, if you're if you're with him, hit one. If you're not, hit two. I want to see what the people are saying. But anyway, I want to play this video. I mean, hopefully we don't get dinged for it, but I don't even care anymore. You know, we got a country to save. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. But just give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to pull it up. But you're totally right about Stephen A. Smith and all these pawns out here. You know, I just can't believe it. Like, cause when Trump was in office, everybody didn't believe none of the media, correct?
Right. It was all, you know, everything the media was saying, it was all fake or whatever. But,
hold on. Yep. I just I don't understand it. Now they believe it with this guy in there who's just been lying, and that's what I'm going to show. This president and the people work there lying. All right, let me pull this up here.
We cannot require someone to be vaccinated. That's just not what we can do. It is a matter of privacy to know who is or who isn't. I can't go to the Capitol physician and say, give me the names of people who aren't vaccinated so I can go encourage them to, or
Now this was last year when they were trying to get everybody's votes. This was like August of last year, or August or October, one of them. It was before the election.
make it known to others to encourage them to be vaccinated. So we can't do that. But you would hope that science would guide them to protect themselves, their family members, and be good colleagues in the workplace to get vaccinated. And the sooner that happens, the better for everything in terms of.
I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power, just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. Now, one thing that I wanted to say, if you're watching this right now, okay, this is a really important part. Share this video, going to give you a couple of seconds because this is most important. So Nancy, if anyone was just watching, she said that they are not going to be able to force people to take the vacation. They're not going to be able to, mandate it because they can't legally do it, which that has some truth in it as far as the Constitution, as far as the regular laws, they can't, and that's why they got excited. All these lawyers, Nancy Pelosi, lawyer, Joe Biden, lawyer, most of those senators and Congress people are lawyers. They were looking for some type of way, and they said, we found a workaround.
Mm-hmm.
OSHA and say it's a safety thing. And in the long run, they're going to end up losing on it unless we end up losing the country because this right here, for those who, can see it, Constitution of the United States, you can't really do that, but they're going to try to, trick people into doing it. So share this because this is definitely important. Was there more of that video?
No, that was it. But I'm gonna keep talking because I'm gonna show some other stuff that we're gonna talk about. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it's definitely it's not even necessary. It's not about the Cody at all. It's not even about the vacation at all. It's about them stripping away our freedoms systematically, one by one. And when you give up freedoms, you don't get them back.
That's right.
That's how it usually ends up working. People who take up power, they don't usually want to give it up. That's why you had all these governor executive orders that a lot of them had to be overturned by the state legislators because they were just pretty much doing what they want. And it shows that also in this day and age, who you elect as governor is almost it's more important than the president.
That's right.
I'm in a state with a governor who he was kind of tight on it. He did restrict us a lot, and then eventually our legislator ended up getting us out of it. thank goodness there's a balance to it. But it could be worse. You could be in California, you could be in New York, where it's basically, like communist, country.
Right.
That's where if you speak up, you might end up in jail.
Right. And it's just interesting because everybody's trying to move down to a conservative Republican state, but they hate Republicans. But like I've been in Georgia, and we have so much freedom. Like my kids never really got out of school the whole time. My son was in martial arts the whole time during this COVID. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's crazy. Why would you?" I mean, it's a choice, right? You should have your own choice of what you want to do with your family. And they're trying to give that up, and it's a shame because the way you give it up is scare somebody. Like I always make this analogy for the people who watch Marvel movies. The last Spider-Man is spoiler alert, but Spider-Man had these glasses that was powerful that he got from Iron Man before he passed away, and Mysterio talked him out of the glasses. And just the metaphor is Spider-Man had all this power and he gave it away, thinking this person's going to have the best interest of the country.
Right.
And that's the problem. It's like I said, people need to look deeper into it. We're not going to talk about, what, even though the CD, it's all the stuff that we are saying is on the CDC, it's on the website, but nobody's going to go on there and look and say it. And of course, the media is not going to do it because they have an agenda. I want to play the video real quick. That's all right with you. If you got last words on it, it's the same thing we're talking about, but if you want to have a thought, you could.
I got something that's going to be coming right behind it. You had the video.
Oh, you got a video? Yeah, I got a video. All right. I'll play mine and you can play yours. Let's see here. All right, here we go. You see that?
Private company. Okay, well now the government. Anyway, so this is a mandate, right? Well, there's a paper out now, a study from Harvard. So there it is. It was increases in COVID-19 are unrelated to levels of vaccination across 68 countries and 2,947 counties in the United States. And there's the people who did the study, and it's in the European Journal of Epidemiology. It's also, so there's from the Harvard Center of Population and Development Studies, Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Department of Social and Behavioral Sciences, Harvard Chan School of Public Health, Boston, and then the Turner Fenton Secondary School, Brampton, Ontario, Canada. So it's also, this article's also been printed at the NIH.gov. There it is, okay? And that is the United States National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. Okay, so this is something that the guys at The Intercept would look at and think it was crazy. They don't understand science. It's okay. So what does this study say? What did they find out? At the country level, there appears to be no discernible relationship between percentage of population fully vaccinated and new COVID-19 cases. What? Huh? In fact, hold on to your hats. In fact, the trend line suggests that countries with higher percentage of population fully vaccinated have higher COVID-19 cases per 1 million people. Uh-oh. Notably, Israel, with over 60% of their population fully vaccinated, had the highest COVID-19 cases per 1 million people in the last 7 days. The lack of meaningful association between percentage population fully vaccinated and new COVID-19 cases is further exemplified, for instance, by comparison of Iceland and Portugal. Both countries have over 75% of their population fully vaccinated and have more COVID-19 cases per 1 million people than countries such as Vietnam and South Africa that have around 10% of their population fully
I'm
vaccinated.
gonna skip through a little bit. Hold on.
Across the U.S. counties, too. Huh?
Hold on, let me skip through a little bit.
Conversely, of the 57 counties that have been classified as low transmission counties by the CDC, 26 point. No. Wouldn't demand it. Here's Nancy Pelosi.
So here's the thing. We cannot require someone to be vaccinated. That's just not what we can do. It is a matter of privacy to know who is or who isn't.
And do you foresee that the vaccine might be mandated for any populations, perhaps for school-age children?
No, I don't think you'll ever see a mandating of vaccine, particularly for the general public. Sometimes in the health sector, like in my hospital here at NIH, you're not going to be allowed to go on the ward unless you get a flu vaccine. But you would never mandate, at least I do not think you would. I'd be pretty surprised if you mandated it for any element of the general public.
Now, as a primary care physician myself, who's had many conversations around vaccine safety with patients, I'm curious, what's our contingency plan for people who might refuse the vaccine?
Well, I mean, they have every right to refuse vaccine. I don't think you need a contingency plan. If someone...
Well, what he should have said, because what they're actually doing is, well, we're going to fire them and take away their means of financial support and render them second-class citizens, restrict their travel and not let them go anywhere or do anything or participate in society. Could you imagine if he would have said that in August 2020? Because that's what they're doing.
Refuses the vaccine in the general public, then there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot force someone.
Oh, it turns out you can take away their means of financial support, render them bankrupt, homeless, and not able to participate in society or travel freely. You can do that. That's what you're actually doing. So 180-degree turn from all of them on vaccine mandates. And now a new study from Harvard that you can find at the NIH.gov is saying this: other pharmacological and non-pharmacological interventions need to be put in place alongside increasing vaccination rates. Such course correction becomes paramount with emerging scientific evidence on real-world effectiveness of the vaccines. The sole reliance on vaccination as a primary strategy to mitigate COVID-19 and its adverse consequences needs to be re-examined. So that's been their only course of action. Hey, you got to do vaccines, and that's it. That's all they've been pushing. Now, we had Dr. Robert Malone on here to talk about a better way to administer the vaccines, that you vaccinate the people who are most vulnerable. Then the virus becomes endemic. It becomes more contagious, but less deadly. That's not the way we're going about it. The way we're going about it is vaccinating everyone, even children.
Yeah, I'll stop it right there. But let me go back to the screen here.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. They're liars, or I'm not even going to call them liars. I'm going to call them politicians. Because that's what they do. They just lie right to your face, and it just like they said, it's a complete 180. Like, what's scary about this? That not just the vacations, not just the people losing their jobs, but the fact that your friends, family, and neighbors can turn their back on you like this.
Yep.
Just because the government says so.
Yep. That's scary.
There is scary.
Mm-hmm.
We sit there and wonder about. I remember Gina Carano had referenced this, as she was talking about I'm gonna just say a certain former powerful dictator in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to try to twist my words, but there are books that are written about this. I actually bought the book Neighbors, and they were talking about how this certain powerful group, they didn't just do everything that they did of their own power and accord. They said for a lot of the atrocities that happened, it was their neighbors, their own neighbors.
Wow. Didn't know that.
And they were burning their houses out. They were, killing them. There was like a big, excuse me, that water. But there was a big fire, in the city. Their neighbors, they turned on them just like this.
Wow.
And that's the thing that worries me, is that critical thinking is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the same, people saying the same old stuff, and it's like they're robots. Even when you hear people, trust the science, or if you try to, question things, and they get so irate, it's honestly, it's scary. It's fun. It used to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'm always down for a debate. Of course, no one, really has the kahunas to be able to come on here and do the debate. If you do, then the link is right there in the comments. Come on at any time. I'll throw the gloves any day. But whatever the case, these people, they say these things, and they say them without thinking. They're just reciting and sounding like robots, honestly, like robots, like that 80s robot off of Rocky IV, the one, Happy Birthday, Polly. Yeah, that robot right there. Like, come on, guys. And we're, neither of us are health experts. We're not trying to make claims in regards to Cody or the vacation or anything like that, but we are talking about public policy, and this public policy is terrible, and everyone knows it. And people have lost their ability to be able to speak common sense. At the end of the day, wake up, people. Wake up.
You're right. And they put their faith in. It's just scary. They just scare you with the media so much, where, like the whole time they scared you about Cody. The whole time they scared you about who was running an office. They scared you about police brutality. And if they really cared about you so much, why didn't they care about you when police brutality, all this stuff was going on? They didn't do any laws to change that, but all of a sudden now they care about you. This is all political. This is all about money. It's about the third. Because it's just interesting when I just think they want you have the moderates, and then you have the people who's the far left people, and they're fighting. They just took out the Republicans out the way, but overall they're doing a dictatorship. It's a straight dictatorship, man. And so we definitely need to fight for our rights. It doesn't matter. Like, you should have the right to do what you want to do. That's what America is about. And yeah, like I said, we could talk about the statistics all day. We could talk about all that. We're not going to do that. But at the same time, if you want to drink beer all day till you get croaked, then that's your business, right? That's just the right. You should be able to do what you want. Like, how are you going to sit there and say the government knows how to live their life better than you? And anything that they put in place, they don't use. They don't use the schools. They don't use the hospitals. They have their own stuff, but they just putting whatever out to the public. Like, this is good for you, but I'm gonna live in these $1 million mansions. I'm gonna be this gated community, but we don't want gates around the country. But I live in a gated community. I don't want nobody coming near me. I eat the best foods. I got the best doctors. You know what I'm saying? They get to choose their doctors. We have to do like one pair system where you got to do it in the network. What if your doctor's not in that network?
Right. Guys, America, the world, whoever, do y'all hear how stupid that sounds? Like, there was a push, whenever President Trump was in office, okay, and Betsy DeVos was the education secretary, and she was really big on the charter schools and the vouchers and things like that. So
choice.
yes, school choice. So everything that they were saying was obviously wrong. Even though, especially Black people, you guys know school choice would benefit you. You've been doing, fake school choice. You've been doing illegal school choice for years.
You put your family's your aunt's name to go to the school.
Right. Like that. Come on, guys. Doing that, for years. I remember, years ago, I was doing the, I was driving for the local cab company. And I remember picking up this boy in the neighborhood called East Liberty. And he was going to school. He was going to a school called, Fox Chapel, which is a richer neighborhood, a more upper, level school. And I was like, oh man, nice school. I was like, who lives in the region? Your mom or your dad? He was like, neither. I use my grandma's address. So like, come on, let's be realistic. In that year, in 2017, I remember they had this push. They had all these people going on there talking about how great the public school system is and how you should be, glad with the resources for where you are. But there's people suffering.
Yeah.
People in these schools, sometimes the teacher don't care. Sometimes the teacher does care, but the teacher's handcuffed because the other kids are cutting up. And there's nothing that they could do because they're not really doing discipline. Sometimes there might be a situation where maybe your parent cares, but the other parents don't care. So these are some of the things that come with the public school system. And they had this disingenuous push talking about like, oh yeah, the public school system is so great. Well, let me tell you something. The public school system is great in the areas where the public school system is great, and that ain't everywhere. And you guys, you politicians, you people with the money, y'all don't even send your children to these institutions. That's how much they think about it. So like, people need to wake up. This is crazy. This is nonsense.
Yep. And then anything that the government runs with the third party system, the prices go up. But everything that they let the market run, is the price went down. I'm gonna show this chart once I find it. I'm gonna pull this chart up if we can see it. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to go ahead.
All
right, go ahead.
I want everyone to actually think about this. Okay. What if whenever you wanted to go into a restaurant, whenever you wanted to go to, any place on the plane or whatever, they ask you to do a sobriety test, right then and there. What if everyone who was a sex offender, right, which they should be registered, what if everyone who was a sex offender had to show some type of card anytime they enter into a restaurant saying that they're a sex offender? What if someone who had HIV had to show their card saying that they had HIV before they go into a concert? What if someone who had a DUI had to show a card saying that they had a DUI to everyone whenever they go to eat? Hey, I had a DUI before. Whenever they go to the bar, they don't even have them show it at the bar.
Wow.
People who have DUIs, they're able to still go to the bar.
Man,
it's ridiculous. And people that are sitting there saying like, "Oh well, the employer, massa, if he don't want to hire you, then you don't have to work there." That's bull crap. That's not how it worked. That is the Harvey Weinstein method of doing things. Basically saying, yeah, you don't have to take this, but if you want it, then if you want this job,
Wow, I didn't even think of it like that. Ooh, yeah, that is
weird.
Man, things that make you go, wow. I didn't think of like that. Um, the thing that messed with me is we got rocked to sleep. You know, like first off, this never happened in our lifetime and our mom's lifetime, so we never knew this was going to happen at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
The government did, but we didn't. So we got rocked to sleep. We felt like, all right, tomorrow we're going to always have a place to stay. Our job's going to be intact. Our kids are going to be fine. And what bothers me about it is a lot of people is not prepared for this. So even if you wanted to have your rights of to do what you want to do, you can't, because America is have this false sense of security. It has this false sense of freedom, right? And so when you think about it, when you want more money, what do? You have to go to college, right? If you're not a business owner, which we know they say 95% of business is going to fail, right? So, and if you're, living in a middle class or poor neighborhood, you got to spend all this money. The more money you want to make in your profession, the more money you have to spend. And it's just interesting because I know doctors who went to college in the 70s, and they paid their college off with a part-time job. A part-time job. It's like anything that the third party is dealing with is so expensive. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. So even if you wanted to say I'm not going to do what the government tells me, most people are doing it because they have like the house, they have pretty much if your credit goes bad, you're done if you don't have any cash, because we're not a cash rich country. If you're in Africa or these other states, like they don't have services like this, so they have to pay things outright, and things is not this expensive. But I want to play this. I'm going to pull up this chart real quick. Hold on one second. And if you look at this chart, I don't know if you can see it or not too well, but I'll read what's on there. Or let me see if I can blow this up here. This. Can I do that? No, that's not it. But anyway, so on the blue lines, that's stuff that the government's not in, and the prices is actually going down from January to 2000 to December of 2020. So cars, you have let me see on here, clothing, so small on here, computers, just things like that, right? The prices went down on it, but then the stuff that the government is in, it just the inflation, like hospital services, college tuition. This is all the stuff that the government, guaranteed that they're going to pay, but the prices went up. So college textbooks, what is this? Medical supplies, housing. And no one questions this, but they all want this system where it was like, well, we need free healthcare, free college, free this, free that. You know what I'm saying? Like if the government butt out of it, the prices will go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what I think that they rely on is that most people are ignorant of economics. Even people who have went to school and they took economics class, it's like they ignore what they learn. The number one lesson in the beginning of economics is there's no such thing as free lunch. And people are, they're ignoring that lesson. There's no free money. There's nothing free. And anything that you give up to the government, it's all a trade-off.
Yeah.
These food stamps that are out here, that ain't free. Somebody's going to pay for it. And if you're believing that rich people, like people don't know, the people with the most money, they influence the politicians who write the economic rules. Just like a wise man had said, He said the government is always going to be in business with the businesses. So at the end of the day, if you think that, you know, all these rich companies all of a sudden, like, they're going to get milked by the government, you're crazy. They're going to find some type of loophole. They're not even going to find the loophole. The loophole is getting written in there on purpose, and they're just telling them, like, hey, here's the loophole whenever we put this bill out here. Just do this and this. It's like getting the blood code from Mortal Kombat. But like they're not going to end up paying. It's going to end up coming out on the people on the bottom. It's going to be either higher taxes, higher prices on goods and services. We see it happening right now. So people had better wake up.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right, man. Yeah, you said you had a video, the show, or
yeah, you know, but one thing I was talking about and thinking about is that, like I said, it's not about the Cody. It's not necessarily about the vacations. If you decide to go and do that, you know, to help you to feel safe, great. I think that you should. And if you have some reservations, then I think that you should not. Now, if you're in a situation where you have, you may not want to take it, but you probably have some things going on that put you at risk, it's your right. But you probably might be better to, you know, talk to a doctor and see if you can lower your risk. You know, that's the important thing. But all in all on this, we don't want to give up our rights. That's what this is all about. So I'm gonna put this on you know, real quick, and I want you guys to think, you know, if you haven't got a chance, share this with someone. This video is going to blow your mind, and it's basically about what's going on now. 1 second. All right, you got it on large.
I can.
Yeah, you don't have to. You could leave us on there.
All right.
I'm about to play it right now.
You're dead. It's too late to complain. You should have complained at the beginning when you at least had a chance. My question to you, and I don't expect you to answer it, just think about it in your head. How bad do things have to get before you do something? Do they have to take away all your property? Do they have to license every activity that you want to engage in? Do they have to be throwing you on cattle cars before you start to say, now wait a minute, I don't think this is a good idea? How long is it going to be before you finally resist and say, no, I will not comply? Period. That's a different answer for each person. Ask yourself now, because sooner or later you're going to come to that line, and when they cross it, what are you going to say? Well, okay, cross this line. Okay, now cross that line. Okay, now cross this line. And pretty soon you're in a corner.
Facts.
Sooner or later, you've got to draw a line and stand your ground, whether anybody else does or not. That is what liberty is all about. If you think I am radical, let me share with you some thoughts from some of the founding fathers. Thomas Jefferson said, and this country with its institutions belong to the people who, Thomas Jefferson, and what country can preserve its liberties if its rulers are not warned from time to time that this people preserve the spirit of resistance? Let them take arms. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Right? We're talking bloodshed if necessary. Abraham Lincoln. This country with its institutions belongs to the people who inhabit it. Whenever they shall grow weary of their existing government, they can exercise their constitutional right of amending it, or their constitutional right to dismember or overthrow it. He also said, we the people are the rightful masters of Congress and the courts, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who pervert the Constitution. How do you know if the Constitution's been perverted if you haven't read it?
Yeah, but I mean, that's great, but most people don't think that. I'm trying to tread lightly, but black people ain't hearing that because they feel like they're not part of that.
You know what though, and you know why? Somewhere along the line, we kind of lost. Like whenever black people came out of slavery, there was this make it happen type. They weren't educated. They didn't really know anything other than how to work. Some of them ended up doing sharecropping. Some of them, left off and figured out a way. And I think that, and I don't fault these people. I understand, but I think that a lot of people have the mindset of those who just stuck with the sharecropping. They said, we don't know any other way, so we're going to just go back to what we've been doing. And that's the challenge there. But right now, this is to everyone, whether you're black, white, Chinese, whatever. We do have rights, and they're going to be taken away if you don't do something. Little by little, and people have to. Basically, I'm gonna put it like this: whether you took the vacation or not, what's going on right now in America is going to affect you. And what I would really, not only just a suggestion, but a strong urging would be that if you work at a place right now that is doing some type of mandate, that's complying with the mandate, whether you took the vacation or not, you need to get together with some of your coworkers and talk about this and let them know this is wrong. Do you agree that this is wrong? This is our private health business. You can't force people to do something. And just like the people who whenever the slavery was going on, we had the Underground Railroad because there were whites who they could have benefited from slavery. They could have just went with the status quo, but they looked at it and they said, this is wrong. And they did something about it. In the same way that those whites had did something about it, whether you took the vacation or not, you need to be able to get to people, and y'all need to organize. And whatever it is, whether it's protests, whether it's walkouts, whether it's questioning, you guys need to work together to be able to bring this down. Don't just go out be the one-man band. You're going to have to work in silence for a couple of days, week, or whatever it actually takes. But I'm putting out a call of action. Get together with the people who are like-minded, and with that, make something happen. We need to do this all over the country.
Yeah. Speaking of that, man, it's interesting because I don't know if you heard that Joe Biden's numbers went down with the African American community, from what you're saying. It lines up right. So I want to show this video real quick, if you don't mind, and then we can kind of talk about it. Then we can kind of in the video.
Cool.
Good talk, man. Look at you out here. When you were talking, I was listening. I was thinking about that one song that Hulk Hogan used to sing. They're the real American. Fight for your rights like every man. I think I got it. Probably got it messed up, but all right, hold on. Give me a second. Let me try to pull this up. Pull it up. All right, here we go.
Even though we have full FDA approval, and even though it's widely available across the country, we still have a quarter of the country who have less than that, 20% of the country who've decided not to get vaccinated. No question that's having an impact.
Oh my
and
God!
Of course, as the president has said, the buck stops with him.
Hold on, I'm gonna back it up because
presidency negatively. So here's the question: what do you make of these polls? And they asked Jen Psaki. You're not supposed to pronounce the P. Jen Psaki, which is what I like to get. I like to get a chilled sake when I go have sushi. So Jen Psaki says this.
Very tough approval ratings
Hold on.
these days. I know you probably like to talk about polls, and you might say that they don't mean anything, but it's also fair to say the White House, when there are good polls, you publicize them. So what do you make of these really terrible polls? Are they that he's doing something wrong? Is it just the communication, or is it he's doing the popular things that have to be done? Or something else?
Sure. Well, look, I would say that this is a really tough time in our country. We're still battling COVID, and a lot of people thought we'd be through it, including us. And because of the rise of the Delta variant, because of the fact that even though it was a vaccine that was approved under a Republican administration, even though
you see how they try to blame somebody else for
even though it's widely
the failures
available
of
across
his
the country, we still have a quarter of the country who have
of his failures right now. I'm gonna keep going there. This is gonna get good.
less than that, 20% of the country who've decided not to get vaccinated. No question that's having an impact.
Everybody else is
Oh my God!
As the president has said, the buck stops with him.
Oh, but the buck stops with him. I thought you just blamed the 20% of people who are unvaccinated. Hey, at least I didn't blame Russia. That's kind of amazing. By the way, vaccinated person here, I disapprove of Joe Biden. I told you this, and she sounds like that guy sounded like he had a British accent or something, which makes sense because most American journalists who are allowed in that room wouldn't ask a difficult question. Of Jen Psaki. And and by the way, when she says the buck stops with him, what she means is he's not going to have much of a spending bill. That's what that means. So, and by the way, she would have blamed Russia if she could have thought of it in time. She just didn't think of it. She's not against blaming Russia. And I want to tell you, so here is the real problem. Frustration is at an all-time high behind Biden's falling poll numbers. This is from the frickin' Jeff Bezos-owned Washington Post. All right, again, so this isn't some crazy idea that a comedian on YouTube is telling you. Even the establishment recognizes this shit, just like the establishment recognizes that the squad could run Congress if they wanted to. It isn't some crazy idea by a comedian, Jimmy Dore, although people want you to think that. The same thing is the poll numbers are real. Joe Biden and the Democrats got complete control of government, and they're fucking failing. Mondale Robinson spent a large chunk last fall in Georgia clubs, bars, and concert venues, convincing disenfranchised black men that casting a ballot in the 2020 general election, then the Georgia runoffs for the U.S. Senate, could finally mean real change in their communities. Remember that? Voted in, we're going to give you a $2,000 check. We got to get the majority in Congress. They got all that. Remember when he told everybody in Georgia that they're going to get you the $2,000 check to be in the mail? That never happened.
I ain't get mad.
He remembers the exact moment his optimism that President Biden would be different began to fade. When Democrats in May significantly weakened a police reform bill to get Republican support. More disappointment followed. Robinson was dismayed that Biden did not push to enact a $15 minimum wage that he promised. That thing that they all promised. They didn't do it. I think the frustration is at an all-time high, and Biden can't go to Georgia or any other black state in the South and say, this is what we delivered in 2021. Hey, who's stoked for the midterms? Black men are pissed off about the nothingness that has happened. Does it make the work harder? It makes it damn near impossible. After an initial burst of support, Biden has seen his approval ratings fall significantly in recent months. Polls show support for Biden has sunk notably among key Democratic constituencies. Blacks, Latinos, defense at the border. I don't want my kids growing up in a racial jungle. Take a look at my record. Kids in cages. We're looking at your record. Want to look at the record? You wrote the goddamn crime bill. This is exactly what did Ice Cube tell us?
The way it look, they don't have a plan. Everybody's, talking about.
And the crazy thing is, he tried to meet with him.
Get Trump out, get Trump out, get Trump out. If you vote, that's going to happen on the first day. So now what? Trump out, now what? What? What do we get in the first 100 days? That's what we're trying to figure out. What do we actually get?
We get an Asian crime bill. That's what we get
overnight, like that. They just pulled $3 trillion out their ass and gave it to their friends. That's American taxpayer money.
Politician that doesn't work for the benefit of the community that elected him. Out there it is.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, you still there?
Yeah.
Why dating a young Latin woman is a good option?
Hold on a second.
Not even close. When you look at
Did him. Out there it is. Where's
I saw happen in Charlottesville. That was it. No one else was talking about it.
You have the ability to,
Okay, so you remember this
impose
when he went off on the black leaders when they tried to ask for something?
Mm-hmm.
database around police killings and police shootings. And these are things that you can do by executive order.
Okay, let me respond. I've got to go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay, number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person who's ever run on 3 platforms that I was told could not possibly win the election. And I never ceased from it. One was on restoring the soul of this country because of what I saw happen in Charlottesville. That was it. No one else was talking about it. The words of presidents matter. Nobody else, no progressive, was talking about it. I did.
That was his response to them asking him to use executive orders. He starts yelling at them.
Man. These are your leaders. Democrat Party. Black Democrats. Oh man. Why they leaving them? That's so true. That's so true, man. Like I said, we gotta do better, man. We have to do better. I can't say I didn't know this was going to happen, but the sad thing is a lot of people is okay with what he's doing, you know. So, but I'm here. I'm gonna keep fighting it, man. We're gonna have to continue this message, man, because people have to wake up. I like the fact that people are they don't like what he's doing. His numbers are going down, but they're gonna they have a ace in the hole, man, because the next election, well, we'll see what happened in the midterm election, but the next election they got stupid Kamala Harris coming out, and she's Indian one day, she's gonna be black when she's trying to get into the main job, but she don't know what she's doing. So that's what's gonna happen. People's gonna forget because African Americans are so big on symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of policies, but my message is we got to start getting these bags, man. So if you're watching, you're supporting us, definitely hit that TNJ radio so we can continue out our message. Check out our stuff on Instagram and what other Patreon.
Patreon.com/TNJ radio. If you're driving, you just want to listen to the show, you can actually listen on our podcasts on any of your favorite podcast platforms, whether on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, whatever you want to listen, we're on there.
And if you want to be a sponsor, hit us up on the realtnj@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Well, take the out, but realtnj@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you want to be a sponsor as well. With that, man, it was a great show, man. You definitely was giving us those nuggets. I was wish I had a pen and paper because you was getting it. You was getting that information out here. So, and it seems like you're very passionate about what's going on.
I ain't even going to do like people do. They be like, oh, I'm not angry. I'm passionate. I'm angry.
Right.
I'm pissed. But yeah, definitely.
But all right, man. Is there anything you want to leave us with before we end it?
Guys, we only this is the first time we had this, in the history of the world, supposedly government by the people. Just, take some of the things that I know a lot of people are hurt. I know that people were, treated unfairly. I know that there were some blacks treated unfairly. There were some Irish treated unfairly. There were a lot of people treated unfairly. But we got to come together. It don't matter. You have to have a vision. And the forefathers, like I said in the Constitution, there was a great vision, put out there. We got to focus. It don't matter, what the government say. We the people, that's what matters. So with that, take care, take charge, and God bless.